So, as of the past month, I've been thinking long and hard about how I can improve my art. Although I have made significant strides in my art since completing my comic, it still leaves something to be desired. So I thought it would be a good idea to try to draw different movie panels. I mean, scenes, right? The first movie I chose is Casablanca. I chose to draw this movie because I really like the style that everything is shot in. It uses a lot of heavy, dark lighting. I would really like my comic panels to have more of a cinematic style to them. So what I'm doing here is I'm trying to redraw this movie panel in the same way that I would draw a comic panel. I was really trying to have a Darkest Dungeons look in my line art here, while still staying somewhat faithful to what the image actually is. I found it very hard to put in the shadows here. Everything around the characters was so dark that I didn't really know how to handle it. And then as I kept working on the image, I just was not having fun, like even a tiny bit. I can understand from this picture that there's a primary light source on the side of him, and then a rim light from the window in the back. But at this point, I felt like I had had enough, so I decided to put it down and continue on. The second movie I chose was No Country for Old Men. Upon my starting this sketch, I quickly noticed that this image actually contains a background. So I started plotting my vanishing points and tried my best to replicate this perspective. Drawing on paper comes with a lot of difficulties. You can't flip your canvas to check your work. You can't use any rulers or guides. You can't even lay your sketch over the original image to check your mistakes. To do the shading, first, I took out my charcoal, and then I instantly regretted it because it was getting everywhere. So I took out my graphite pencils instead. Despite this image arguably looking worse than my first one, I actually had more fun. Even though when I was drawing this, I felt like I was trying to fly a plane that was crashing into the ground. There's something so nice about just rubbing graphite on paper. I don't know how to explain it. Somehow, I kind of like the final piece. It has a moody, depressive vibe. Like this could be the next album cover for Blade and Bath. There's so much more to be learned about light and value. If you're still watching, you might be interested in my comic. I put the link in the description. Goodbye.